Okay, so if you have been following this channel for any amount of time over the last 2 years that I've been uploading, this has roughly been the scene, and the lighting is absolute hot garbage because this is all getting teared down. This is all getting moved out of here. This office, this place that I've built now for the better part of the last 2 years, where I've recorded so many of my videos over the last 2 years, is going away. So I want to make this video to talk about all the things I did in this room to make this shot not as garbage as this. And then also show you guys the new office and show you kind of how that's coming together and what the vision is for that. You guys will be seeing that evolve now over the next year. So let's roll the intro. I love that intro. Oh man. So if you guys wanted to know why my office is getting just completely gutted here, is because I think I told a lot of you at the beginning of this year, we are having our first kid showing up later this summer. Do you want to add anything to that, Nick?
It's coming soon.
Coming soon. This light is like so trash. So I need you to get that out because I still have to pull the rug up.
All right.
There's a
I'm just ready. I'm ready. You know.
I want to talk about a few things that I did in this office to make this scene. Obviously, if you guys have been watching this, this is not what this has looked like here. If I turn this light on here, and then I come up over here and flick this off, all of a sudden I have a nice, like perfect, like 56K light just sourcing here, which is this Aputure light dome. It's probably a little bit blown out right now. I could probably bump that down a little bit. That's how I took care of a lot of the light in here. These walls are just kind of like tinged a little bit yellow with color, so I've had to do some color corrections with this as well, but obviously this makes it a lot nicer in here than using this little light right here. This also, like, directionally just doesn't do a lot. It's a rental. We rent here, so what are you gonna do, right? And you don't have to necessarily use something like a big professional Aputure light. When I was first starting out, what I was mostly using is I was using this Dyson light, which is a little bit more expensive, but even if you get like a $15 desk lamp, just angle it up so it diffuses, comes down, solves your lighting problems. You guys already saw I put a rug down here. These are all like laminate fake floors. Bounces off a lot of sound. You're already getting a lot of echo in here because I've already started moving a lot of things. Here's a little secret too. I already moved it, but what I was doing for a little bit was on this C-stand, I would actually hang my winter coat on it. And then that way, like, the inside of the puff of the winter coat would eat up a lot of sound going into this corner, and I would get like just even better audio. So if you guys have been watching this channel, you know that I started shooting originally like this, with the bookshelf right directly behind me. I had this window here, kind of using that as like a key light for me, and then the desk was rotated 90 degrees right there. And this is how I did a lot of like my early, probably the first 6-7 months of this channel, was sitting here talking to you guys like this. I loved it. It was great. Moved this against the window. Not a big fan of that, but it allowed me to sort of get this angled view here, which you can't really get in the basement downstairs where we're moving. But I'm excited for the new challenge. I'm excited to see, like, figuring out this space and turning this space into a functional studio that got where I wanted to go. And like, find a lot of videos on YouTube where people are talking about like their dream studios and they look absolutely perfect. These people like either own their homes or like, I guess, don't care about their landlords and like are painting stuff, blowing out walls, like hanging stuff, putting holes in walls. Like, that's all awesome. And if you can do that, if you can afford to do that, that's legit. If you're like us and you're like, hey, I know I'm gonna be moving out of here, I don't want to put a ton of work or a headache or trouble for my landlord or myself, you try to do what you can do with more temporary solutions, and hopefully one day I'll be able to have my own studio where I can build it out the way that I want to. But I'm making this video to show it's totally okay to not have like a dream desk, a dream setup, even though that's like what it seems like everyone on YouTube has. It's not the truth. They have bad angles, they have bad cable management. I've seen it. I got some of it myself. And you know, it's important to have like just a healthy expectation of just, you know, this is one angle. This room looks like from so many different angles, so weird. So just like there's so much junk piled up here. I still have a ton of junk piled up down there. I'm still moving all the junk from in here. There's a ton of junk in here. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect. So before I start tearing all this down and out, I'm going to show you guys the new studio. Yeah, let's go. Okay, we are going downstairs to the basement. This is the new studio. I think I actually got a flick on the light here. Okay. This is going to be the new studio. And this is actually like a really big room. It's kind of like a big basement bonus room. That's going to end up in the nursery. This is all going to be the gym. We're going to try to divide it with this sort of like extended shower beam and curtain. But man, this is going to be a challenge. This is definitely going to be a challenge. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. There's this sort of like weird open section to like, I think what's this like tiny kitchen in here. So I think this was originally supposed to be like 2 units, but we just rented the house as like a whole house because we knew we wanted to have space for our offices. I didn't think that I would end up in this little spot here, but with a kid on the way, this is going to be it. So obviously we're gonna have to change the light. I think these windows are gonna have to get blacked out. I'm thinking about building in front of these curtains the bookshelves and kind of giving it a more harder line there and kind of creating this as its like own space. Probably gonna put the desk right here, and then maybe I'll have to find a way to do something on this wall. Maybe some prints, maybe a TV, probably prints. I think prints would be cool. I've actually been kind of getting away from like, I don't know, just TV stuff and whatever. I think the dresser that I have that you guys saw, that really nice walnut dresser, is gonna probably be here. And I think that'll give me some space to have like 2 different sets, or at least just have like different sets and places rather than just having like one angle, one set, and then trying to make that work for everything. I think I'm gonna try to have like a few different sets in here. My love sack, if you guys haven't seen these things, like they're big like memory foam bing bag things. They're super cool. This is an oldie but a goodie. I'm gonna hang some clothes up here, partly to help control the sound. As you guys can hear, there's like a lot of weird tunneled echo here, and then this is like a weird little chamber in here where it's like sound can bounce all around. So if I put like sort of just like my daily clothes or like my week's clothes on the rack there, I feel like that will eat up enough of that weird corner and give me more of like a box that I can treat a little bit better. I won't need the rug down here because there's already carpet. That is actually kind of nice. But yeah, I think now is the time to start getting the move on, making things move. I want to ask all of you to let me know in the comments down below, what is like your favorite piece of like office tech, office furniture? It can be anything. It could be standing desk, it can be lights, it can be sound treatment, it can be, you know, leave your whole setup down there if you feel so inspired. I'd love to get your guys' comments, thoughts, and I'm just gonna try to get out of this video while it still just doesn't sound like how I want it to sound. You know, I want this, you know, I'm showing you guys this sort of behind the scenes look because I don't want you to always think that like YouTubers always have it all figured out, or like that our lighting's always perfect somehow magically and miraculously, or that like the audio is always good. Like that takes a lot of work, and I'm still dialing in my setup. I still don't feel like I've reached like a peak. I still feel like I'm learning little things and tricks and different ways to like think about how to do audio, how to do light, how to just make a better quality video every single day. And I'm so pumped to be back here, to be back. If you guys know, we've been traveling for like the last month, but it feels even longer than that. It just feels like so long. So it feels good to be back here, making videos, hanging out with all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. If you haven't, I would just ask you to do so, please. It really does help me out. Be kind both in life and in the comments below, and like this video to send good vibes across the internet. Seriously, so many of you have said so many awesome, just kind, wonderful things. I never would have expected that on YouTube in the comment section, but just so many of you have made my day, so many days out of this year and the past years that I've been doing this. So thank you so much, and we'll do it again soon. Later. All right, let's turn this into the office in 3, 2, 1.